Hi friends. Hi friends. Welcome to Gradeup. So in this series of sessions, we will be discussing about the previous year's CAT paper. So to start off, we will start with the CAT 2017 slot 2 Quantitative Aptitude Part 1. Okay, so we will discuss a few questions which have appeared in CAT 2017 second slot as the first class of this series. There are further more classes in which we will take you through all the previous year's CAT papers. Now, why it is important on the very first place? So when you solve the previous year's CAT paper, it is very important. One, because there are a lot of questions which gets repeated, or at least the patterns will get repeated. If that's not the same question, but it will give you a feel that okay, what type of questions appear in CAT. Also, in a lot of times you will see a very similar question with a few numbers here and there which appear in CAT. So solving a real CAT paper is far more important than taking any of the mock CATs. Okay, when you prepare for mock CATs, it gives you a feeler that okay, it gives you an environment in which you have to take the paper. But what's a real paper that you get only and only from the previous year's CAT paper. So it's very important to solve all the possible previous year's CAT paper. So in this series, we'll talk about previous year's CAT paper. Now, first of all, you can subscribe to Gradeup Super. There is a different courses for 3 months, 6 months and 18 months. In this program, you will get all the structured live classes, full syllabus coverage. You will get the solutions, doubts, everything from our expert faculties. So you can give out your doubts and we will solve it. And then there will be a mock papers and you can write those mock papers. You can check your performance, how you are performing vis-a-vis other students who are also preparing for the same examination for which you are preparing. And then there will be a report card. So these are the different advantages which you get out of the program, which is Gradeup Super. Subscribe to Gradeup Super for 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, and you can avail all these benefits. So starting with the questions. Okay. So first question which we'll tackle today is there are numbers from 1 to 9 which are arranged in 3 by 3 square matrix in such a way that each number occurs once and the entries along each row, each column, each diagonal add up to the same value. Now the top left and top right entries of the grid are 6 and 2. You have to find the bottom middle entry. Now how to do it? So basically what's the question? Question says that there is a table of 3 by 3. Okay, there is a table of 3 by 3, something like this, and there will be 3 numbers in the first row, 3 numbers in the second row, 3 numbers in the third row. Similarly, there will be 3 numbers in the first column, 3 numbers in the second column, 3 numbers in the third column, and all of them will add up to 40. Okay, all of them will add up to 15. So basically, if you look at all the numbers from 1 to 9, sum of all the numbers from 1 to 9 will be how much? 45. Now, if my total sum is 45, can I say sum of these 3 rows has to be same as this, has to be same as this. So can I say all of them has to be 45 by 3? If sum of all the rows is 45 by 3, then only then total sum will become a 45, which is sum of all the numbers from 1 to 9. Now, in all such questions, okay, your middlemost number is always the average of all the numbers. Always, okay, in any such question, your middlemost number will always be average of all the numbers. And what's the average of all the numbers? If you look at average sum of 9 numbers is coming out to be 45, so the average will come out to be 5. So this number is 5. Now it tells me that topmost 2 entries are 6 and 2. If these two numbers are 6 and 2, can I say this number is 7? Because sum of these 3 numbers have to be 15. Now if this is 7, this is 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. So this number has to be 13 because some of these three numbers is again 15, some of these three numbers is again 15, some of these three numbers is again 15. So the minute I realize that all the rows, all the columns are same, I can easily say, boss, all the rows will add up to 15, all the columns will add up to 15, all diagonals will add up to 15, and so on and so forth. Yes? Is it clear? So my answer will be 3. Next one. In a race of 10 km, A, B and C each are running at a uniform speed and they get gold, silver and bronze medals respectively. So A wins the race, gets a gold, B comes second, gets a silver, C comes third, get a bronze. Now A can beat B by 1 kilometer and B can beat C by 1 kilometer. Then by how many meters A will beat C? Now can I say if A beat B by 1 kilometer, ratio of the speeds of A and B is 10:9. Similarly, ratio of speeds of B and C is again 10:9. Why? Because B can beat C by 1 kilometer. And what we have to calculate? We have to find by what's the ratio of speed of A and C. So can I say ratio of speed of A and C would be A upon B into B upon C? Yes, which comes out to be 10 by 9 into 10 by 9, which is 10 upon 8.1, which means if A will run 10 kilometers, which means, okay, the minute I realize A upon C is 10 upon 8.1, what does this mean? It means that if A will run 10 kilometers, then C will run 8.1 kilometers, and if C will run 8.1 kilometers, it means there is a lag of 1.9 kilometers, which means A will beat C by 1.9 kilometers in a race of 10 kilometers, which means in terms of meters, how many meters it is? It is 1900 meters. Yes guys, is it clear, friends? Okay, moving to the next one. This is again one of the questions in CAT. Bottle A contains mixture of milk and water in a ratio 7:2. Bottle 2 contains a ratio of mixture of milk and water in the ratio 9:4. In what ratio of volume should these two liquids in bottle 1 and bottle 2 be combined to obtain a mixture of milk and water in 3:1 ratio? Okay, so basically a very simple question on alligation. We have got two mixtures, we know the milk concentration in both the solutions. In what ratio I should mix the two to get a milk water ratio in a given solution? So in all such questions, all you need to take care of is your denominator should be total volume, should not be water. So if I have to alligate, what's the concentration of milk in first solution? Concentration of milk in the first solution is 7:9. In the second solution it is 9:13. How we get 7:9? Out of, okay, if there are 7 milk, there are 2 water and total volume is 9. So milk concentration is 7 out of 9. How? In the second, if there is 9 milk, there are 4 water, total is 13. So out of 13, there are 9 parts of milk. And what's the final solution which I am looking for? The final concentration which I am looking for is 3/4. Now I will simply apply a alligation. So what do I get here? 9 fours are 36. Now 7 fours are 28. 9 threes are 9 threes are 21. 27. Difference is 1. What's the volume here? It is 13 fours are 52. 9 fours are 36. 13 threes are 39. So 39 minus 36 gives me 3. Yes. If I solve it, okay, so this is a ratio in which the two solutions have to be mixed. Now what is this ratio? This is 3 into 36 is to 52. If I cancel both sides by 4, I will get 3 9s are 27 and 13. This is the ratio in which I need to mix two solutions to get a ratio 3:1. To get a final milk to water ratio as 3:1. Pretty simple. So this is a very typical question which you can find in lot of examination. A very similar question. Even this year, if you are planning to take all the examinations, I am sure that you will handle this question somewhere or the other. Okay, next one. Arun drove from home to hostel at 60 miles per hour. While returning home, he drove half along the same route at a speed of 25 miles per hour. Then he took a bypass which increased his driving distance by 5 miles but allowed him to drive at 50 miles per hour along with the bypass road. If this return journey took 30 minutes more than the onward journey, then what is the total distance traveled by him? Yeah, how to do it? First of all, Arun goes from home to hostel, which will be some distance, say x, and while returning, he is taking 5 kilometers extra. So can I say my total distance traveled has to be 2x plus 5? Yes. So can I say my answer cannot be B and D? If it has to be total distance plus 5, okay, 2x plus 5, which means after subtracting 5 from the answer, I should get a multiple of 2. In 60 and 70, I am not getting a multiple of 2 after subtracting 5. So option B and option D are already gone. Now I am left with only two options. One is 55, one is 65. Now let's look at 55. If my answer is 55, that means forward journey is 25 and return journey is 25 plus 5. Now remember, he said that half of the journey he has traveled at 25. So it cannot be half. There is very less possibility that it will be like this. Okay. Or let's try with the options. Okay, let's try to understand whether it is happening this way or not happening. So what's the time taken by Arun to go from hostel to home to hostel? 25 by, okay, let's look at the 65 because possibility of 55 is also less because 55 upon, okay, 50 upon 2, 25 and 25 upon 2 doesn't give me a round figure. So let's look at the 65. Let's look at the option 65 first. So how to do 65? If the total distance traveled by Arun is 65, it means his distance from home to hostel is 30. This 30 is traveling at 60 kilometers, 60 miles per hour, which means he take half an hour to go from home to hostel. Now on the backward journey, he covers 15 kilometers at 15 miles at 25 miles per hour and the balance 20 miles at 50 miles per hour. If you solve it, it comes out to be how much? 50 and numerator will become. So in the forward journey he is taking half an hour, in the backward journey he is taking 1 hour. So can I say he is taking half an hour extra in the return journey, which was the condition which was given to me, and hence my answer has to be 65. It cannot be other three. If you want to check with 25, 50 as 55 as well, you can actually check it, but you will not get the answer. Why I took 30, why I took 65 was because I know that okay, 65 upon 30 upon 60 is going to give me a half an hour, which is a rounded figure. 25 upon 60 will not give me a rounded figure. So chances are very less that that is going to be my answer. Although there is no denying that that cannot be my answer, that can be my answer. But chances are less, and if we are eliminating the options, this is a better way, this is a better choice to check. Okay, let's look at the proper way of solving it. Okay, if we don't want to solve it using options, let's say distance from home to hostel is D, which means he is taking D upon 60 hours. On the backward journey, he takes D by 2 by 25 plus D by 2 plus 5 by 50. This is the time he is taking in his backward journey, which is half an hour more than the time taken in the forward journey. Yes? So if I solve it, what do I get? We get d by 50 plus d by 100 plus 1 by 10 minus d by 60 equal to half an hour. Now it's a very simple equation, okay? It's very simple equation with only d. You can easily solve it. On solving it, you will get d equal to 30 miles, which means one-sided journey is 30 miles. From his home to hostel it is 30, and the return journey will become 30 plus 5 because he is traveling 5 miles extra on the backward journey. So d plus 5 is 35, and the answer will be 65. Yes, guys, it is okay. Is it okay? Have you guys understood this, or should I repeat it? Okay, since you guys got it, let's move to the next one. Out of the shirt produced in a factory, 15% are defective, while 20% of the remaining are sold in the domestic market. So if there are X number of shirts, how many are defective? So in all such questions, instead of looking at how much are defective, how much we are losing, let's look at how much we are retaining. So if 15% of the shirts are defective, the balance 85% shirts are good. Now 20% of the rest are sold in the domestic market, which means we are left with 80% of the rest, and which are left for export, which is how much? 8840. So what do I get? We get 80%. 80% is nothing but 4 by 5. 85% is 17 by 20 into x gives me 8840. If I solve it, if I cancel it by 4, I get 2210. Then I cancel it by 17, I get 130. So x equal to how much? 130 into 5 into 20, which gives me 13,000. So total number of shirts produced is 13,000. So in all such questions, always try to focus on what is the number which you are retaining instead of working around how much you are spending or how much you are selling to the domestic market, how much are defective. Let's not look at those figures, okay? Instead of that, always try to look for how much you are retaining, how much is left with you, and that is going to give you the right answer, okay? And that's going to be a pretty fast for you as well. Yes, guys? Is it okay, guys? Okay, moving to the next one. Average height of 22 toddlers increased by 2 inches when 2 of them leave the group. If average height of these 2 toddlers is 1/3 of the average height of the original 22, then average height in inches of the remaining 22 toddlers. So basically what is happening? Initially there were 22 toddlers who had an average height of x. Now 2 of them has left, and for the 20 toddlers average height is x plus 2. Now what more is given to us? Something which is given to us is that 2 who has left has an average height of x by 3. That is given to us. Yes? Now if I look at the options, can I say, and I have to find x plus 2. I have to find average height in inches of the remaining 20 toddlers. So we have to find x plus 2. Now, can I say my right option minus 2 should be a multiple of 3. Why multiple of 3? Because two persons who have left has an average height of x by 3. So my answer minus 2 should give me a multiple of 3. The minute I realize answer minus 2 is a multiple of 3, can I say A and B are not going to be my answer. My answer is either 32 or 26. Now out of 32 and 26, which is a friendly number? My friendly number is 32. Why 32 is a friendly number? 32 is a friendly number because 32 minus 2 gives me 30, which is a multiple of 10. I am always more comfortable with the multiples of 10, 100, 1000 than the numbers which are not multiples of these numbers. So I am assuming my answer is 32. Now let's check it. There are 22 boys, toddlers, whose average height is 32. Now there are 2 who left the group with an average height of 10. Okay, so what's my new average height? My new average height would be, so what's the deduction? My deduction is there are 2 who are leaving, and what's the, okay, how much are remaining? There are 20 boys who are remaining, and what is the height which is lost? There's a reduction, there's a loss of how much height? There's a loss of 20 into 2 for how many students? For 2 students. That gives me 32 minus 2, which is 30. Yes, 32 is the right answer. Okay, even if I don't want to do it this way, even if I want to do it other way being, there are 22 students, there are 22 toddlers with an average height of 32. If I subtract 2 with a height of 10, and then if I divide by 30, okay, check this, even then, so it's 2 with the average height of 30, okay, 22 with the average height of 30, if I subtract 2 into 10 and divide by 30, even then you will get the same answer. It is how much? It is 660 minus 20 divided by 30, which comes out to be 640 by 30, which is 32. So you can get the right answer, okay. So looking at the options, you can solve it. Another way of solving the same thing can be, let's look at the, okay, let's go by the formula. There are 22 toddlers, average height is x, 2 remaining, 2 left the group with the average height of x by 3, and if I subtract it by, so if I divide by how much? 20, we should get x minus 2. Okay, solving this, what we'll get? We'll get 22x minus 2 by 3x equal to 20x minus 40. So if I solve this, I will get x equal to 30 and x plus 2 equal to 32, and 32 is my answer. Is it clear, guys? A very simple question on averages. Okay, the next one is, the manufacturer of a table sells it to wholesaler at a profit of 10%. The wholesaler sells it to a retailer at a profit of 30%. Finally, the retailer sells it to customer at a profit of 50%. Okay, remember we discussed, we will always look for the final number. Okay, we will not look at what's the profit for each and every one. We will look at what's my new cost. So So if I assume my initial cost was X, if the cost to manufacture was X, so after adding a 10% profit, my cost will become 1.1x. So this is the cost for wholesaler who will sell it at a profit of 30%. So this will be the cost for retailer who will sell it at a profit of 50%, increasing the total cost by 50% multiplied by 1.5, and this comes out to be 4290. So it's a single equation. Okay, you need not to do a multiple equation. A single equation will give you the complete thing. Had I would have taken 10%, 30%, 50%, so that might take you a slightly more time. You will get the answer from that process as well. It will be slightly easier for you. Okay, so basically what do we get? 15 into 13 into 11 x equal to 4290 into 1000. If we cancel by 11, how much we get? We get 390, cancel by 13. We get 30, cancel by 15. We get 2. 2 into 1000. My answer is 2000. Yes? Okay. Another way could have been, if we simply look at my options, can I say my answer is not going to be 3000? Why 3000? Because there is someone who is making a profit of 50% and my final sale is coming out to be 4290. On 3000, if I make a profit of 50%, my cost will automatically reach 4500. No, it is not possible. Similarly, if we look at 2500, 2500 into 1.5 gives me how much? 3750 into 1.1 will give me how much? Okay, into 1.3 will give me how much? Into 1.3 will give me 1000 more than this. No, even this is very high. It's not going to be my answer. Let me check the next number. 2000. 2000, if I make a profit of 50%, it becomes 3000. On 3000, if I make a profit of 30%, it becomes 3900. On 3900, if I make a profit of 10%, I get 4290. Yes, that's the right answer. My answer has to be B. So even using the options, we can solve it. Yes, guys? Is it okay with everyone? Okay, moving to the next one. Our tank has an inlet pipe and an outlet pipe. If the outlet pipe is closed, the inlet pipe can fill the complete tank in 8 hours. If the outlet pipe is open, the inlet pipe can fill the empty tank in 10 hours. Okay, so I've got two numbers. One is 8 hours, one is 10 hours. If only the outlet pipe is open, then in how many hours full tank becomes half full? Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's assume the total capacity of the tank to be 40 liters. Why 40 liters? A number which is a multiple of 10 and 8. The smallest number which is a multiple of 10 and 8 is nothing but LCM. LCM of 10 and 8 is 40 liters. And what does this gives me? It gives me that inlet pipe will fill 5 liters per hour. Why? Because it is filling the full tank in 8 hours. So 40 liters is getting filled in 8 hours, which fills 5 liters per hour. But if inlet and outlet both are opened, it will fill only 4 liters per hour. Why? Because it is filling 40 liters in 10 hours. So per hour it is only 4 liters. From these two, I get that outlet pipe is exhausting 1 liter per hour. So a full tank will become half full, means the 20 liters will get exhausted in how much time? 20 liters will get exhausted in 20 hours. Why? Because per liter it is exhausting 1 liter, full tank is 40 liters, it has to become a 20 liter. So 20 liters has to be exhausted. Yes? Is it clear, guys? Okay, moving to the next one. Mayank buys some candies for rupees 15 a dozen and an equal number of different candies at 12 a dozen. He sells all at 16.5 a dozen and makes a profit of 150. How many dozens of candies did he buy altogether? Okay, so let's assume he buys 1 dozen candy at 15 rupees and 1 dozen candy for 12 rupees. So what is his cost price? His cost price is 27. Now he sells the complete for 16 rupees 50 paisa a dozen, which means selling price for these 2 dozen of candies is how much? 33. So can I say on every 2 dozen he makes a profit of 6 rupees, which means for every 1 dozen he makes a profit of 3 rupees, which means for every 1 dozen he makes a profit of 3 rupees, which means to make a profit of 150 rupees he need to sell how many? 50 dozen. Why 50 dozen? Because for every dozen he is making a profit of 1 rupee. Yes? Guys, is it clear? Okay, good. My answer is 50 dozen. Moving to the next one. In a village, production of food grains is increased by 40%. Now, per capita production of food grains has increased by 27. By what? The percentage by which the population of village has increased during the same period is near to. Now, can I say population into per capita will give me the production? Okay, what is per capita? Per capita is basically what is the production per person. So basically I have to multiply population and per capita production to get the final production, isn't it? Now if I know that if population changes by A% and per capita production increases by B%, then total production will change by A plus B plus AB by 100, which means 27 plus X plus 27X by 100 gives me 40, which means 127 by 100X equal to 13 and X equal to 1300 by 127, which comes out to be very close to 10%. Yes? Another way of looking the same thing. Can I say if if my population is increasing by A%, my per capita is increasing by B%, my total production will increase by more than A plus B. Yes? If one number is increasing by A%, second number is increasing by B%, my total production will increase by more than A plus B, which means 27. Okay, so for example, if I say 27% is the increase in per capita, 10% is the increase in population. So 27 the total, which is 40, is more than 27 plus 10. So can I say my answer is not going to be 16 and 13? Why? Because 27, if my per capita is increasing by 27 and population is increasing by 13, so total production will increase by more than 27 plus 13. So it cannot be 40. Yes. So if it cannot be 40, similarly my answer cannot be 13, my answer cannot be 16 either. So I am left with only two options, 10 and 7. Let's check with 10. What do I get? With 10 and 27, I get 10 plus 27 plus 270 by 100, which gives 39.7. With 7, my answer is going to be lesser than this. Okay, so that's the best choice. And I will prefer checking with 10 than 7. Why? Because 10 is a friendly number. 7 is not a friendly number. I can easily calculate 27 into 10. I cannot easily calculate 27 into 7. So my answer is going to be 10. Okay. Next one. Okay, and please mind it, all these questions are CAT 2017 questions. Okay, so don't tell me that questions are easy because we are just telling you easy questions. These are the same questions for which you are preparing. Okay, so question says A, B, C are three positive integers such that A and B are in the ratio 3:4 and B and C are in the ratio 2:1. So what's the ratio of A is to B is to C? So A is to B is 3:4. If B is to C is 2:1, can I say it is same as 4:2? Now my question says these are three positive integers. So can I say sum of A, B and C has to be a multiple of 9? Sum of A, B and C has to be a multiple of 9. Then which of the following is a possible value of 9? Well, possible value of A plus B plus C. Possible value of A plus B plus C has to be a multiple of 9. 201 is not a multiple of 9. 205 is not a multiple of 9. 210 is not a multiple of 9. My answer has to be 207. So 207 is the only multiple of 9 among all the given options, and that is the only possible value of A plus B plus C. Yeah? Okay, so that's all from my side. So we will be having more such sessions wherein we will be talking about previous year's CAT papers. So keep checking our channel, like it, subscribe it for getting all the intimations, and we will be coming back with more such sessions. You can subscribe for Gradeup Super, which is, so there is a subscription for 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, wherein you will get all the structured live sessions from Gradeup. You will get the access to all the expert faculties. You will get all doubts solving. There will be different mock papers for you, and your performance will be evaluated on a periodic manner. So this will be very helpful for you guys. If you are really serious for CAT, please do subscribe for Gradeup Super. About me, my name is Anant Jori. I have been teaching for more than 18 years now. I have scored 100 percentile in CAT quite a few times. In the process, I did my MBA from IMT Ghaziabad. These are our faculties. So all our faculties, anyone who is teaching at Gradeup, have scored 100%, 99.9 percentile and above in their respective sections. So for example, Pranav sir, who is teaching DI and LR, have scored 100 percentile in CAT 2016. Jatin sir has scored 99.95 in Quantitative Aptitude in CAT 2019. So all the faculties who are teaching here have scored 99.9 plus. And many of us have scored 100 percentile and above. 100 percentile. There can be nothing more than 100 percentile. So these are our faculties. Okay, thank you. All the best for your preparation and keep checking Gradeup channel, and we will be coming back with more such sessions. Thank you for attending this session.